Okay, what are we looking at? I don't even have, isn't that funny? Like it, oh, you know what? It might still be trying to show my phone, like I was phone sharing before. So I'm really glad y'all are here. Is everybody sharing about the BOGOs?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sharing on my page.
Yes. Beautiful. Share about the BOGOs, because here's the thing. There are a lot of people, look at Heather, that it's the BOGOs that were the deal, you know, that helped them to say, okay, I'm ready to get in. And we've talked in our training a lot about the importance of not, you know, overusing Facebook, but this is the kind of thing that it's ideal for. So I put a note up, and I'm going to include my note each day. Don't unfollow me. This is only 1 week. I'm not going to continue, you know, so I kind of give them it's okay. I'm not going to slaughter y'all with this, but definitely, because these BOGOs are great. So the thing is revealed, you know, each at midnight Mountain Time. So, you know, Jessica's in on the scoop on the Mountain Time business, but we get 2 hours ahead. So we have to wait.
Isn't that like 3 a.m. for us?
Yeah, it's 2 for us on the East Coast. But so there's pros and cons to the time zones. So we have to wait until like 2 a.m. to find out the BOGO deals and all that. But when it's time to change your order at the last minute and you're like, oh, it's midnight. Oh, no, it's not. It's not until 2 a.m. for us. So, you know, we've got pros and cons there. But definitely, listen, let me tell you about some of the changes, okay? This year, or this BOGO is different. You are not going to have to put a separate item in your cart if you're doing an LRP order. And we're going to be talking about LRPs tonight. But in the past, to do a BOGO, if you wanted to do it through your LRP, you would add an item so that you could get your points. So like if I want, so today's Ylang, and Melaleuca. I would have put the Ylang in and the Melaleuca using the SKU. And then I would have added, you know, a bottle of lemon or something else that I wanted so that it would be an LRP order. You don't have to do that this time. All you have to do, and you don't have to have an SKU. That's the other thing that's different. You just go and you put in, you can start a new LRP order, put Ylang in, okay? And it's going to automatically add the Melaleuca for you. You'll see it in the review cart. So you won't see it at first, but you'll see it later. And, but you won't earn any points unless you hit 50 PV in your cart. Okay, so it encourages us to share. So if 2 or 3 of us locally, and Jessica, I got to talk to you about, you know, your local is not really all that local.
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours between you and the closest, you know, team member we found so far. But I've put out a search on our Premier and Above group, and we're asking to see if people that, you know, maybe just aren't big talkers on the board. So,
okay.
and maybe they haven't put their pin on Jackie's map yet. So, so that's a possibility. But the one person that's closest to you is super awesome. Anita, love her. Love her. She looks like she's probably about 3 hours from you. So, but anyway, so if you're doing something like we are, well, we rotate it around so that we share who gets the points benefit and the shipping back, but it allows us to have up to that 50. You're not having to order extra products. So I think it's a really good way of doing it. To get the points, you hit 50, no SKUs. You don't have to add in both items. You just add in the one item, and the other is automatically there. Okay, so that's all I really wanted to touch on, unless y'all have a question about BOGOs this week. Okay, so here's the new info. Y'all saw me put that up. I was literally with customer service chat open asking this question. And I was like, oh, that's great news. Okay, I got to share that tonight. So how many of y'all have noticed in your back office that you have an AR account on your dashboard? And it may or may not have anything in it. May have zero, may have some money in it. Have y'all noticed it?
Yes.
AR account. Okay. Well, so I was wondering, because mine has built up pretty big. I've never done anything with it. By the way, what it is is when you have a check that's less than $12, it will get put into that instead of mailed to you, so that you don't take a $1.95 fee out of a check that's already less than $12. If you're direct deposit, it's only 50 cents, but still you don't pay a fee. They just put it into this AR account. Now, the fees come out of that instead. So a lot of times you'll notice, if you ever look in your back office and you look at your earnings, that you didn't pay a fee. You know, you received your money, but you didn't pay a fee, direct deposit or check. And that's because they took the fee out of the AR, okay? And so it kind of lets your checks be as large as they are possible to be. Well, I asked him, so how do I get the money out? Because I've got over $60 in my AR account. I've never done anything with it. It's been over a year, and apparently I've had, plenty of checks that were less than $12. It's all good. So I said, how do you do it? He said, if you request a check, it's like $4 and some change fee. But you can use live chat, or you can call it in, and you can apply that balance to your next order. So I said, oh, well, do I have to use it all? So he said, no, you don't have to use it all. You can use as much or as little as you want. I said, can I use it on a BOGO deal and still earn points if I'm over the $50 PV for the BOGO for the day? And he's like, yes, absolutely. So at some point this week, I'm going to get a BOGO deal, and I'm not going to pay for it. Whoop, whoop, that's what I'm talking about. And since it's LRP and it's over 50, I'll get my PV. You earn all your points that you would earn. I'll get my shipping points back. So it's all in all, it's a great deal, and it was very good to know that we can use it for these BOGOs. All right, any questions on AR accounts or using those or any of that stuff we just touched on? Yes, Heather?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Whenever we hang up tonight, can you maybe text me and explain to me how to set up the direct deposit instead of getting the checks?
Absolutely. If you go on our Dropbox under Builder Tools and Resources, or it might be Builder Business Documents, there is a direct deposit form. It's very easy, and you just fill it out and include your little thing. And I don't have a fax machine, but I do internet fax. Freefax.com, I think, is the one I use. And I scan it in, and it's a document that gets attached. Super easy. It takes a couple of weeks, and then you'll be getting direct deposit 50 cents instead of a check for $1.95. So
awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, now let's talk LRP points and savings. All right. Anybody here need a basic? Y'all are all past basics. Everybody here's got the basics down on LRP. So I'm going to just skip ahead. All right. If you're a builder or a leader, you need to be hitting 125 PV so that you qualify for your checks at 100. And you're getting the product of the month. You do that by the 15th. That's we're all already there. We already all know that's what we need to be doing. And remember, the value of that product of the month is because you're growing your collection, and they send good stuff. So it's not like, it's a great way. You pay for everything you're getting, but you get that freebie. So don't bypass that if it's at all possible. Now, your 100 PV is the minimum for checks. So at a minimum, you got to hit that 100 or you will not be eligible to receive a check. When you drop down to 50 PV, okay, that's the lowest point that you can order to grow your discount and to grow your points. So here's the thing that I'm really noticing is, and listen, this is all about math, okay, math. When you take a month, if you need a break for a month, take it, because Lord knows that there are times when you need a break. I get it. Your budget is tight, and that's just the reality. And until we are farther down the road when it's no longer an issue, that's fine. But it is at all possible to not drop below the 50 PV, every time you put your points on hold, you set yourself, it's not a setback. You didn't lose your place. You didn't lose any points. But it's a whole month before you get to move into the growing stage again. And here's what is, just to do some numbers, okay? If you have to push on to hit that 50.01 and continue to grow your points in your first year, the payoff is so much better in your second year when you're at 30% and you're looking at an order at 30% return, you're going to be getting more money back quicker into your account to spend on products. So look at a $130 order. Let's just look at that one for a second. If I have a $130 order, which is pretty common, let's say we were shooting for a 125. We know we want to have our POM. It's before the 15th. And, you have a little whatever, it gets you to 130. At 10%, you get 13 points on that, plus your shipping points. 20%, you're up to 26 points on that back, okay? 30% on that 130 order is 39 points back into your account, plus the shipping back into your account. The difference between 30% and 10%, it just adds up so fast. If you look at a 200 PV order, and they like to put those out there for product promotions, the difference between 10 is $20 on a $200 order to get that product promotion. But at 30%, you're looking at 60 points. You're already more than halfway to your next 100 of getting products for free for your same $3 fee. So you see where my math is going, where my mind was like, every time someone does that to themselves and they pause, they take so much longer. If you're going to need to pause, let your pausing be in your second year after you've hit 30%. And then if you're in the lower areas and you're like, okay, it's been tight this month and I need to pause, and I come back and I order a small order and it's, 50.01 or a 75 or it's a small, I'm still going to earn 30% on that. I'm going to earn 30% on any order I place. I'm going to earn 30% and all of my shipping because I've pushed myself to get up to it. So if you need a break, you need a break. I'm not trying to tell you or encourage you to do anything to your budget that is not smart and wise. You know your budgets, okay? Always, always, always be responsible with your finances. But if you're thinking, and it's kind of like could go either way, go ahead and hit that 50.01. Now, here's the next thing. So this month, I was redeeming points. I redeemed 100 points. And I've always done it where my points were like 95, 99, 55, 99, 95, get right up there to it. But guess what? It's not. So this one, I went to 100. It was $100.75. And I was like, wow, okay, so what is that going to do? Am I going to pay another $3 fee? And you're not. It goes to $100.99 up to, okay, so it's all to the 99 until you cross over to the 101. Then you go into the next $3 fee. So I like knowing those little kind of tidbits, and I like having that, in my head. And then you would go up, so it'd be $199.99 until, I said it wrong. 299 cents. If you hit 201, then you would move into the other bracket. So it goes up to the 99 cents. So that was good to know, because if you're hitting that, and you hit that 50 PV minimum, okay, and you let yourself continue to grow on your percent, whatever place you are, you will have bigger savings come quicker. Now, there are months when it will be advisable to split an order. Okay, on the month that you are about to move up on your discount points. Okay, so you're at 15%, you're getting ready to move up to 20%. I've done this several times, it works beautifully. As long as you place the 125 PV for your product of the month by the 15th, so that you get your product of the month, and you get that's in by the 15th, okay, you're qualified for your check at 100. But whatever else you had that month that you're scheduled to move up, save it and do a second order. Okay, so if it's the difference, because your first order on the month that you advance is going to be at the rate you're at. And as soon as you place that order, then it will flip over to the rate that you're advancing to. So I split my orders on those months, and I get my bare minimum to get my quality, my product and my credit. I'll be able to earn my check. But then I put the rest of whatever I have in, and it comes in at the higher percent, because it happens right then. Once your order goes through, you can go back to your dashboard, unless there's slow or something in the back office, but usually it's right then I can go in and see that it's switched. And then I get my rest of my order in at the higher percent. That's only one time that I split orders. There's a few other times when having multiple LRP orders is beneficial, okay? So here's another time when I would have a multiple LRP order. As I grow and as you grow, as your team grows, there are going to be the times down the road when it's not a problem to place multiple 200 PV orders. I know right now most of us would go, okay, that's not today. But that day is coming. Let there be no illusions. That day is coming. On the times now, down the road, you can do it up to 4 times. So anytime you're going to get a product promotion at 200 PV, you schedule yourself 4 LRP orders to go out. You could do it once a week. You can do it whenever you want. And you will get that product promotion 4 times. So when they do the frankincense, when they do the immortelle, when they do the, because those are 2 that they do almost every year. Now, why would you want that necessarily? If you're that big, you've got a lot of downline under you, and you're using those for incentives, you're using those as giveaways, you're using those for samples. So once you're to the place where that's what but every time you place that 200 PV order, you're getting all of your shipping back, you're earning all your points, so you're continuing to grow yourself while you're earning what you're going to be using to grow yourself. I mean, I just love the way that the whole thing comes together. Now, another time that you're going to do this is I use a second or a third LRP order anytime I'm going to drop ship to somebody that does not live close to me. Okay, so whenever I'm going to drop ship, I open up a second LRP order, and I put in whatever I'm going to send them in the order. I change the shipping address, and everything else stays the same. It's still my card. It's still my email. I'm going to get the points into my account. I'm going to get my shipping back in points. And all I have to do, they drop ship it. It's package. I don't have to package anything. I have to make another trip to the post office. It is so easy to use them to drop ship and to get your postage paid for mailing something to someone that's away from you. And then as soon as you're done with any of these LRP orders, the one thing that you've never seen if you have a single order is up there in the top, in the header area where it's got like your shipping, your billing address, your email, all that stuff. You also have on the second and any others, you'll have cancel this LRP link show. You don't have to chat with customer service. You don't have to call in. As long as it's the multiple, you're going to be able to cancel this LRP order. Once you're down to 1, it won't be there anymore. That link wouldn't be there. So remember, the reason they put that in place to begin with was because they had people that were trying to use it to clear their card out and start over, but then they were canceling their LRP order. So the only reason they make you call in is to make sure it's really what you're trying to do. Now, once you cancel that LRP order, of course, you don't have to worry about it going out again. So I do it right away. After I do ship now for whatever I've just created that I'm going to drop ship, I just open it right back up right then and do cancel this LRP order, and it's gone. So it's a great way to just to earn your points and use your money wisely. Now, LRP only deals. Let me do a screen share real quick. This is one that we did a long time ago, but a lot of y'all were not with us then. And I think it would be good for y'all. I didn't start at the beginning because the beginning's kind of just real basics, and y'all are all past that. But I want you to notice something. Okay, if you are not, see this left-hand side is a one-time standard order. See right here where my mouse is? And then if you look over here, you see it's purple and you're editing a scheduled LRP order. Okay, now this is I just went in and created this and did this side by side so you could see. If you're not in the LRP, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to click. Oh, come on, go back, Kevin, go back. Okay, I have to not click. Okay, if you're in a standard order, these right here say LRP only. You cannot, there's no view kit, add to cart, none of that's there because these are only available in an LRP order. It's a benefit and an extra way to save. So whenever you're shopping, if you realize you see these little red LRP only words, you need to realize you're not in an LRP order, you're in a standard one-time order, and you don't want to do that because, why? You need to earn your points by placing your orders in your loyalty reward program. A standard one-time order will still earn shipping points, but that's it. So you could miss out if you don't realize and catch yourself, okay? Now, over here on the right, your LRP order, these view kits, because this is all about the supplements, and you know, you view the kit and then you can customize your add-ons and all of that. All of those features are only available for those that are placing them through LRP orders, okay? Now, here's another example of a kit. If you do the LRP shopping, it's $81 separately to buy each of these 3 items, that when you buy the women's health kit, the same 3 items lets you save $12 by doing it through your LRP, because it's one of those savings, and it's not even available to people who are doing a one-time order. Here's a couple more examples. LRP skincare system, okay? LRP skincare system with the hydrating cream. Those are available in the LRP. This is a great example. These 2 packs, okay, if you bought them individually, the shampoo would be $39 and the conditioner would be $46. When you do the 2-pack, you save $14.50 for shampoo and $18. And here's the thing, okay, because they're giving you the second one at a very low, I mean, it's like half price. It's like buy one, get one half price. Okay, and I am going to show you what to be aware of on that here in just a minute. But I mean, personally, I love the shampoo and conditioner, and I do buy them like this in the double pack so that I get that second one at such a big savings. Now, notice the lack of add to cart on all of these that are listed here. That's because it's a standard one-time order, and these kits are only available. Now, there's probably other stuff in there now. We've had new products since I created this slideshow, but this is just an example that you do not have the ability to choose those items, but whenever you're in your LRP order, they're here for you to choose right here, all right here, okay? If you don't see it, it's a big flag. Go looking to see what's wrong. So you can buy kits in multiples. Now, this isn't just LRP, but I wanted to include it just to let you see. If you're going to set up a booth or a table at a fair somewhere, you can buy these for the lower price and then sell them at the retail price, and you earn a profit on each one that you sell. So look at the introductory kit. It's $20 for one, or it's $115. So you would save $5, okay, if you were to buy all of those and sell, and then you're selling them at the $20 at the $25 retail instead of the $20 that you would have paid. The $100 Aroma Touch Kit. Okay, if you bought this kit, 7 kits of the Aroma Touch, is $600. That's 7 of them. If you bought one, it's $100. So you get a $100 kit for free. All right, so you can just add that cost onto the kit and sell it at retail price, or you can have one that's yours for free after you bought the 7. So it's basically getting $100. You can save $125 on the Family Physicians Kit. If you're able to buy it in the bulk, one of them costs $125, 7 costs $750. Do you see that? So one of them, you're saving $125 by buying it in bulk. Now, I know for some of us right now, we're like, okay, well, I can't throw that down. But just have this in your mind and know that that day comes when you can do this. And you've got, 5 kits sitting on your table at the booth coming by, and somebody wants to take a kit home right then, they can buy a kit and you just earn some money on your retail. Now, I do not encourage retail. I encourage enrollment. But there are plenty of times when an enrollment's not going to happen and you can still have that retail purchase. Now, let's look at this one. This is the big heads up, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about tonight. When you're buying LRP only deals, if you want to purchase it with your points, be careful because the points will be spent, so to speak, on the PV single amount. Okay, so look at this. I put the 2-pack of the conditioner in my cart, $23 PV, because 23 is the cost of one. Okay, $28 is the price. Okay, $28 is the price. If I'm not going to use points and I'm just going to buy this, I'm going to spend $28. I'm going to get 23 PV. I'm going to get 2 conditioners. Does that make sense? Now, if I choose to use my points, look down here. They charged me 46 points. They charged me LRP points for both conditioners, 23 and 23 is 46 points. So just realize that although it's good to use this savings to buy it with your money, unless you have a lot of points and you're okay with that, which is fine if that's what you're like. Right now, I'd rather have my 2. Just realize and don't get caught off guard that when you when you purchase it with points, it is full points for both items. If you're buying it with dollars, that's when you get to buy one, get one half price. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. And there are the main things I wanted to share with you on, let me do the stop screen share, on the LRP. Did y'all learn anything on better ways to save?
Yep.
Okay. Any questions on what we talked about?
I have kind of a question on the BOGOs and the LRP.
Yes.
I want to make sure I understood it correctly. I read what was put out there today on the BOGOs and stuff, or maybe it was yesterday. But if I understood correctly, we can add the BOGOs this time around on the LRPs. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. That is exactly how it is. You don't even have to have an SKU number. You just simply have, you put in whatever the buy one is, like today's buy Ylang Ylang, receive Melaleuca. You can put Ylang Ylang in, and the Melaleuca will be added automatically. You put it in your LRP cart, and you do not have to put anything else in there. If you do not hit 50 PV, you will not earn points on your purchase. You will still earn your shipping, okay? You'll still get your shipping back, but you hit 50 PV, and then you'll earn your points on what you've bought. So today, it would take 2 Ylang Ylang deals to hit 50 PV. That's $35 each. So on your second one, you're going to hit your 50 PV, and then you're going to have points based on 70 PV, and you're going to receive 2 Melaleuca for free, and you'll choose your shipping points, and you'll receive those back according to whatever shipping method you chose. Does that help?
Yeah, and just to make sure they're not going to be in listed in the limited time offer thing. They're just going to be, the BOGO today is this, and you just basically put in your cart the first one, like today's Ylang Ylang, and then, automatically the Melaleuca gets tagged along, right?
That's right. You can do a quick ad if you want and search for the special that day. If you wanted to just put in, Ylang Ylang and just do straight. If you want to navigate to it by clicking single and navigating your way to it. I put it in my cart a couple of times today when I was like playing around with it to see how the changes would work. And it didn't make any difference. It went in my cart, and when I clicked on review cart, then you could see them both.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. What else? Okay. All right, y'all. Well, that's it for tonight. And I hope y'all got some good tips on ways to save more with your LRP. Use those points wisely, and I have yet to save up enough to get to a 200 one of these days, because every time I spend them 100 at a time, and I always add my 100 to a regular order, almost always. Sometimes I don't, and I'll need something, so I'll go ahead and do 100 when I have 100, but one of these days I'm going to make it to 200, and I'm going to get 200 LRP points order that only cost me $6 in tax or whatever. Okay.
I have to mention something about that. I went on today to check to see, what my, points were, I mean, my order was, because the gal that I enrolled, she placed her order, but I was waiting, you know, for this week to see what's coming up.
Yeah.
And I was shocked. I have 155 and some change, and I'm like, wait a minute, where did that come from? But you know, I've been trying to save it because I want the Hawaiian sandalwood, and there's a couple more that I want. But it was like shocking. I had 155 and some change, and I was like, I didn't even realize where that came from. But it was a nice shock. So
I know that's right. And that's exactly what we're talking about, is that awesome feeling of how fast it grows. Okay, I have a child bouncing around beside me. If you're going to come over here and interrupt me, you come over and say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Okay.
Have you ever to kill him?
So,
hi, Miguel.
That's Alex. Now go. But anyway, it is, because once you've been doing it long enough that your discount has grown, and especially when you get up to like 20 or 25%, and then of course the 30 for me starts next month, it's just like, wow, I can't believe how many points just got added to my, 1 minute it's 95 and the next minute it was over 150. So, and that was from my order going through this month, and that was at 25%. That was an order and my shipping points back at 25%. Next month's going to be even better. So I just want to encourage y'all, hit that 50 PV and grow it, and take your breaks later if you can. Don't hurt yourself, okay? I'm not encouraging anybody to hurt themselves, and we don't need any trouble in relationships, so don't do that either. but you know what I'm talking about, okay? All right, y'all. I will see y'all in cyberspace unless y'all have anything else. I can hang around. Otherwise, I will let you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.